Hello there, and a warm welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I'm Victor Matthias. Now, the National Security Advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki, had some weeks back spoke about the insecurity in Nigeria as a major concern that could hamper the successful conduct of the 2015 general elections. And what seemed like a mere address at the Chatham House in London has now come to pass as the Independent National Electoral Commission announced the postponement of the 2015 general elections last week. On the program today, we will be getting the reactions of Nigerians on this postponement. But before we do that, we will be looking at the trending topics in the past week. The elections may have been postponed, but with pockets of violence already recorded during campaigns, Nigerians decided to unite for peace and bring to an end the violence before, during, and after the elections. The electoral umpire also made the headlines after its chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, went into a series of meetings that lasted over 12 hours to announce the postponement of the 2015 general elections. Well, there you go, the trends in the past week, but a quick reminder that you can be a part of the program too. Just tweet at us using the hashtag #ElectionPostponement.
We welcome developments.
From
a lot of things are, a lot of issues have not been visited, and I think if the election was carried out as earlier planned, I think we would have not had the kind of election we want. So I think it's a good thing, and I must commend Jega for being true to himself, because there is no use messing around. He knows, and we know, that INEC is not prepared. That's aside. The basic issue is that, okay, if INEC was prepared, why are we still trying to get PVC as at today? Why was the deadline for collection of PVC plate today? Shows that there are things that, as much as INEC wants to rush the election, there are things that they have not yet handled. And in order to meet up with that, they are trying to rush this whole thing. I think it's good that the election was so that things can be put into place. A lot of people have been disenfranchised, and unjustly too. So I think this will give us enough time to make things right.
That's the reason why the Electoral Commission should postpone the election. This election we are talking about is not a day affair. It's a planned issue. If security can gather up together and say that they don't, because they are facing some security challenges, they want the election to be postponed. What happened to Syria? What happened to Afghanistan? And in Ukraine too. You can remember what happened in Ukraine. Till now, Ukraine is not settled. They conducted election because they want a change in government. They want something that will assist the government, not just an issue of individual. This thing pass beyond issue of Jega, or pass beyond the issue of PDP or APC. If you don't like PDP, you don't like APC, we have many parties you can vote for. Many people want to exercise their rights. And even if the election is being slated for 20 years to come, some people will still be disenfranchised.
How come suddenly the military is interested and willing to finish up Boko Haram in 6 weeks? What has happened all along? Why couldn't it be done all along? And suddenly we hear they can finish Boko Haram in 6 weeks. I must say also that it is not new, or it's not like a breaking news that this election was postponed, because before yesterday we already had news and clear about it that they are pushing to get it postponed. So it's all planned out. And let's not be carried away that this is just the first step of the plan. I mean, this is the last step of the plan. This is just the first step, and we will see more coming in few days' time. We'll start seeing what is going to come behind this first step. The problem is the current government doesn't want to leave power. And it's this sit-tight attitude of our African leaders that has left Africa where it is today. We, just like Adejoran said, we have countries in worse situations that have held elections, and government, government was changed, and not heaven did not fall. So why is Nigeria different?
The issues he raised, definitely, all of them are right. We don't know the agenda of the PDP, but first we have to suspect something as Nigerians. This issue was raised first by the NSA. The NSA is the official of the PDP. Definitely, he won't be a candidate. PDP candidate.
Sorry, Mustafa, he's not an official of the PDP. He is the security advisor.
He's a spiritual advisor. He may not be a PDP carrying member, but definitely is a member of the government, and the government in the center is PDP. So definitely, we don't know as Nigerians. We just have to wait for the facts, like wait for 28 to see what will definitely happen. But as far as we are concerned, there's a maneuver. As Nigerians, what we advise to each other is we should fold our arms, don't raise any crisis or something. Let's just wait for the right time to put them out. That's the best thing that will ever happen. Let's just be patient.
I watched the broadcast yesterday on China's when Jaeger was speaking. It was interesting because he tried to emphasize the point that INEC was ready, or INEC is ready, but because of the advice he got from the military chiefs, he has to do what he had done yesterday. Because it's a different ball game when INEC says it is not ready, and when INEC have to say it is not ready because someone else isn't. That's the interesting part of the story, because many people try to pull this ball down to the fact that INEC isn't ready because of the distribution of the PVCs. But on the other hand, INEC has nothing to do with the distribution of the PVCs if the citizens are not willing to collect their PVCs. So that shouldn't be a ground to postpone an election. But I would say it was quite reasonable for Jaeger to succumb, because there was no way INEC would have carried on with the election when the security of the citizens and that of its personnel is not guaranteed. And then that was where the military officers were able to pull INEC down, because it would be irresponsible of INEC to go ahead when the lives of people are at stake. And I think that was why, and I think it's responsible for Jaeger to wash off his hands, because if anything would have happened, if the election had gone, if the election was not were not postponed, then Nigerians will still come back to blame INEC for not taking the path which he has taken yesterday. And I think 6 weeks is no long time. If we have waited for months and years, what is 6 weeks?
If you see the way Professor Jega was clamoring yesterday, they are ready. Even the northeast Nigeria, people are complaining about. Calculate the percentage of people that have collected their PCV, even higher than the southeast, even the south, so to speak. Why are we saying the electoral committee are not yet prepared when they came out on board and said they are fully prepared for the election at hand? I don't think Nigeria will take it slightly, but my own plight or my own take from this issue to Nigerians is we have to take it easy. Justice might be delayed, but can never be denied on this issue. It can never be denied. We are not blind. We see what is happening both home and abroad. And when we try to juxtapose what we have at hand, we believe Nigeria should be ahead of every other country. Nigeria have what it takes: human resources, natural resources, but due to mismanagement and misappropriation of funds. We cannot be boast that we are Nigerians. Why are we traveling abroad? If our country is good, I don't see reason why a reasonable Nigeria with all the natural resources we have would travel abroad to be a slave of somebody.
There's something we must understand. It's not by postponing the election to May 28 is the reality we are talking about. The reality here is the peace and security of the people. You understand? Let's talk about the people they are going to use in the election. The INEC and the securities have there's something they have to discuss hide, which we outsiders cannot understand. You understand? But because of that, February 14, they may have something they have already targeted from the north and the security from the south, which they have already known. They cannot bring those things out to the public for we to understand. You understand? For INEC chairman or the chief security advisor to come to UK to say the postponement of the election, and following the statement, it was a question for the people, not a statement. There's a difference from a question and a statement. He was not the one that postponed or said to the INEC, we must postpone the election. Let's talk about the NYNC, the people they are going to use for the election. Are we thinking about their security too? We cannot just think about the election that matters. We are talking about the life and property of the Nigerians here. The students. Jonathan is not the person that sent that person to school or to he graduate or Buhari. If he lost his life, who is going to cater for the family? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Let's talk about everything, because we cannot just say the postponement of the election that matters. We must go to the poll on January or February 14, do the election, go. But when something happens on that February 14, who will take the responsibility? That's the problem we have in Nigeria. Who's going to take it? Who's going to say, okay, if Buhari win the election, let's assume Buhari take the election, and he came through to be the president. Will we ever remember the family that died on that February again? No.
Well, you heard them yourselves, and we also see your comments coming. We will take a look at some of them later on in the show, but we will take a break. And when we return, we'll get more analysis. Please don't go away, and do also remember that you can find these conversations on our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Please stay with us.